Hey guys, and welcome to Gaming for the Weekend, where I talk about tech, games, and pretty much everything in between. Today, I'm talking to you about gaming chairs. More specifically, I'm talking to you about this gaming chair, the Noblechairs EPIC Leather series. Over the course of this review, I'll be putting it through its paces and letting you know whether or not the chair is indeed deserving of its name. Noblechairs is a German company that's been around for a few years and makes really high-end gaming chairs. They have two major lines, the newer Icon and the original EPIC series, and the EPIC comes in leather and PU editions. They also have some special editions like a GeForce and an SK gaming model, and they really are as good as it gets when it comes to gaming chairs. Everything about this chair screams quality, and it wouldn't look out of place in the front of a Porsche 911. It's probably about as close as I'll ever get to owning a Porsche 911, but that's a different story entirely. The chair is covered in leather, has a body made of cold pressed foam, has a strong metal base and durable plastic for things like the armrests, but the standout feature of this chair is definitely the leather. Very few gaming chairs are even made out of leather, and this is probably one of the nicest chairs I've ever seen, let alone a gaming chair. Most gaming chairs are brightly colored and covered in logos and graphics, but this one just looks really slick. If I look at some of the details, you'll see that things like the grain of the leather or the crown are really well done, and just the threading and the stitching of the chair is uniform and everything looks fantastic. Even if I turn it around and show you the back, it looks really nice. And the same even goes for the bottom of the chair that you can't see. Everything is really well made. If I show you the other parts of the chair, for example the armrests, you'll see they're a nice durable plastic, and the same goes for things like the backrest and the parts of the chair that are below the chair. The backrest is really strong, I trust it, and it shoots forward if you pull the lever. If I then move to the bottom of the chair, you'll see the paddles where you can adjust the different parts of the chair. Again, these are strong and durable. And then you have this gas lift at the bottom. The gas lift is really powerful. It can hold my weight with no stress. I think it has a weight limit of 150 kilograms. The base of the chair is a lovely brushed metal, and it feels really nice underfoot. It doesn't feel too cold and metally. And then you have the casters that work really well and look good. Again, overall, this is one of the nicest looking chairs I've ever seen, and it looks like the day that I got it, and also operates like the day that I got it, and I've been using it for about 6 months. Like most gaming chairs, there's a lot of things that you can adjust on this chair to make it more comfortable. Let's start with the attachables, the pillows. First up is a lumbar pillow that attaches to the chair with straps. I find that I don't like it, I don't think it's that comfortable, but I have the same situation with most lumbar pillows on most chairs. So first, let's get rid of that. Next up, we have the neck pillow. This is great, it feels really nice, soft and satin. It could be a little bit thicker, but I really like it, so I'll leave that on. Next up is the back. So like most gaming chairs, you can adjust the back. You can tip it all the way back down, and this does have a very strong mechanism. If you wanted to lie back and listen to music or have a nap, you can tip the whole chair back and forth. As you can see, I have mine sort of tipped back in both ways, cradling me as I use a footrest. You can rise the height up and down. Now, this is quite a high chair, so I personally, even for a really tall guy, have the height drop quite low. And then last up, you have the armrests. The armrests can slide back and forth, in and out, and then they can also tilt in and out like this. So that's all the things that you can do to set this chair up. When it comes to getting the most out of your chair, there's 3 major settings that I would recommend. Firstly, get the backrest right. You probably don't want it too far forward. Likewise, you probably also don't want it too far backward, back being impractical, forward being uncomfortable. And this gives you a great relaxing feeling if you slide it down your desk. The next up is to tilt the base back a little bit. That, coupled with the backrest, will create a nice cradling feeling. And this is quite a hard chair, so that will take some of the pressure off and make it a lot more comfortable. Lastly, if you're doing both of those things, get yourself a footrest. This is quite a high chair, even for me, who's really tall. So I'd recommend you do that because it raises your legs up and takes the pressure off of your lower back, which is where that pressure will build up if you're doing long gaming sessions. Before I bought this chair, I did a whole bunch of research into what the best chair would be to get for a large gamer. Again, I weigh about 100 kilograms and I'm about 6'5", so for me, it was really important to find a chair that would fit and support me. When it comes to specifications like seat width and back height, this chair beat its competitors in almost every category. And most importantly for me is the back height. As a tall gamer, it's really hard to find a chair that offers enough back and neck support so that I don't get pain in my shoulders, and this chair did that really, really well. So if I was to think about who would get this chair, anyone that can afford it, it's a great chair all around, but specifically, if you're tall or a big guy, this chair would suit you perfectly. When I was first looking for the right chair to get, it was really hard to find a chair that would A, be big enough, B, be really well made, but that C, I could fit in my living room and it wouldn't annoy my girlfriend. This chair has done all three of those things, and I'm really, really happy with it. I've had the chair for around 6 months, and it still looks and feels like the day that I bought it. So if you're in the market for a high-end gaming chair, I highly recommend this one, and I don't think you're going to find a chair that's much better than this. When spending this amount of money on a chair, you really probably want to check out a few reviews, or even better, get into store to check them out in person, because a lot of the stuff is based on personal preference. That said, I've saved you a bunch of time by going to do this myself, and I'll give you a breakdown of some of the chairs I looked at when I was making the decision to get the Noblechairs. Now bear in mind, I did choose the Noblechairs, so I think it's the best, but this should give you some context as to why I made that decision. First on the list is the VERTAGEAR PL6000. Now this chair was very close in the running and I almost decided to get it. On the plus side, it's big and comfy, and if you get a good chair, they have great reviews. But on the downside, firstly, it's not made of leather, which is what I was looking for, and secondly, it's really big and chunky looking. Despite having a similar profile to the Noblechairs, it looks much more chunky. Another drawback is that there have been a few manufacturing issues, so if you get a good chair, it'll be fantastic, but if you get a bad chair, you could find it breaking in the first couple of months. Next up is the VERTAGER TRIIGGER 350. This is a really interesting chair. It's more of a task chair than a regular gaming chair. I really like the look of this chair, but what held me back was the fact that it's just so expensive. There aren't a lot of reviews that I could find online that justify the price of this chair. There just wasn't enough information out in general, but I'm very curious to know what this chair is about. It seems like it could be the best gaming chair, but again, it comes at a really high price point. So I decided to get the Noblechairs because it was much more cost effective and had a few more reviews out online. So VERTAGEAR, if you want to send me one of these, I'd happily review it. Third on the list is the MAXNOMIC XL. It's around the same price as the Noblechairs, and in profile is very similar. It's about equally as big and has really good reviews. It's really comfy. The downside though is that it doesn't look like a chair I would want in my living room. It has bright colors, has logos on it, and again, just doesn't look as quality and premium as the Noblechairs does. Last on the list is the SECRETLAB Titan. So SECRETLAB are a chair company based in Asia, and they make really cost-effective but great looking chairs. The chairs also have decent reviews. One feature I really like with this chair is internal lumbar support, which I wish the Noblechairs had. But the biggest problem that I had with this chair was I couldn't get one. There was more than a 2-month wait while these chairs were being manufactured, and they weren't leather, so I wasn't prepared to wait that long. SECRETLAB do have a leather model of these chairs. It's called the Omega Elite, but it is smaller. It's not as big as the Titan. So I decided that I'd rather go with a leather chair, but also a chair that I could actually get my hands on. So overall, I've had a really great time with this chair. I really enjoyed it and I'm really glad that I got it. But I'd be curious to know if any of you have the chair and what your thoughts are. Alternatively, if you have questions about this chair, please leave a note in the comments and I'll be happy to answer. And if you like this video, share it, like it, best yet, subscribe. I'll be making a lot more content soon, and I will see you guys again soon.